Hi guys, my name is Steven Toppetto, and today I'm going to be talking to you about mentoring, a relationship based in trust. And before I get into what this article talks about, what its findings are and why, and then my opinion, I just want to talk to you briefly about what mentoring actually is. So, mentoring, in I'd say today's definition, is when a senior member of an organization, or the mentor as we call it, gives some sort of guidance, gives some sort of a tutelage to a inexperienced and almost always the time younger protege. And this will be done until it is deemed fit that this protege can now study or do the task at hand by themselves. So through mentoring, there are two expectations that this relationship will lead to, and this is career development and psychosocial support. Career development is probably the more looked for and the more known expectation. So this is when the mentor will basically give them tasks, give them real world examples to give them the experience they need to to be able to replicate this on their own and become successful on their own. While the psychosocial support is more of building a actual relationship, building a friendship, something that enhances the emotional support of the protege. Both of these are very important, and the reason they are is because these two expectations lead to whether or not, more or less, this mentorship was a positive or a negative. And at first, this was the only study. This was it. And then they found out that there is one thing that in this mentoring relationship that can enhance the satisfaction or the positive outcome of a mentorship, and that is trust. Trust is essential in any relationship because you are going to just take whatever that person says more seriously. You are going to grip onto what they say more. And this holds definitely true in a mentorship, perhaps one of the most important relationships for a protege to before they become a professional themselves. So how can trust be developed? And there are basically six dimensions of a relationship where trust is either built or can actually go the other way, and trust can be lost. The first one of these is competency. This is so basically what the protege is looking for in its mentor is to be capable in their field. They want them to be up to date with all of the current literature coming out. They want them to be experts and have a very scientific approach. They want them to know everything, so it's not like they're missing out on something. The next one of these is consistency. So this means that they want their mentor, the protege wants their mentor to have a specific set of values or set of behaviors that are predictable and they are followed. Because when they take the same course of action, they believe that they've thought this through and they are very capable of now teaching the protege. The next one is sharing of control. So this is one of the most important ones because this is something like sharing responsibility, inviting the protege to help you with a task, help the mentor with a task. This sharing of control shows a deep level of trust that can't really be gained another way instead of actually showing that you trust them. The next is fairness. So the protege wants the mentor to be fair towards them. He wants them to treat them justly, right or wrong. They need this to basically see if what they're doing is good or bad because they can't be coddled, but they also can't be just told off every time they do something either right or wrong. This is huge in actually growing the relationship. The fifth one is communication. So open feedback, again, very important. They need to know what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, so they could fix it. Otherwise, if the mentor just lets them do what they've been doing, and if it's wrong, they won't be able to grow through this. And then once they find out that what they've been doing is wrong, it will lead to a dip in trust. And then the next is the showing interest. This has to do with more of the, like I said before, social, the psychosocial support, because showing interest in the protege, showing that you care about them and you want to guide them, goes a long way, as in they're not just doing this because it's their job, they're doing it because it's something they care about. So, what did the findings show after going through a study with all of these different functions or to help grow trust? It basically showed that while all of these can be a positive, they can all also be negatives if interpreted wrong by the protege or if done wrong by the mentor. This is a two-way street. The protege does also have to put in effort. However, because the mentor has such a higher authority, they need to take more of a responsibility. And they showed that the sharing of control as well as showing interest are two of the most important factors in building trust, because again they handle both of those functions or expectations that I said before of of helping career development as well as building a relationship. So lastly, just going to give a brief overview of my thoughts. I think that trust is essential to mentorship, but also I think that there needs to be, this was briefly touched on, but there needs to be a challenge. They need to be challenged so that they can butt heads and build ideas and build character. And that is my presentation. Thank you.